Don't skip. Your soulmate secretly tested your honesty and broke down in tears when they found out. My beloved child. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear is not an ordinary love story. It began with a question your soulmate never dared to ask out loud. They wanted to know one thing, not how attractive you were, not how successful you could become, but whether your heart stayed the same when nobody was watching. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They quietly created a moment that looked completely normal, a moment so small that you probably never noticed it. To everyone else, it was just another ordinary day. But to your soulmate, it became the answer to a silent question they had carried for far too long. They watched without saying a word. They expected hesitation. They expected hidden intentions. They expected the kind of behavior that had disappointed them so many times before. Their past had taught them not to trust easily. Every promise they once believed had eventually fallen apart. Every beautiful word had turned into silence. That is why this secret test mattered more than you could ever imagine. It was never about proving perfection. It was about discovering whether someone could still be genuine in a world where honesty feels so rare. Don't skip, because the truth that appeared next completely changed the direction of their heart. Something happened during that quiet moment that your soulmate never expected. You didn't perform for attention. You didn't try to impress anyone. You simply remained true to yourself without realizing anyone was watching. That single choice echoed louder than 1,000 promises ever could. Your soulmate froze. They replayed the memory again and again inside their mind, searching for even the smallest sign that it had all been an act. But every time they looked back, the same answer appeared. Your honesty wasn't created for applause. It wasn't designed to earn affection. It came naturally, and that frightened them in the most beautiful way. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. For the first time in years, they felt their carefully built walls begin to crack. The doubts they had protected for so long suddenly became heavier than hope itself. Their hearts started asking questions they had tried to silence forever. What if this person is different? What if I finally found someone who isn't pretending? What if I almost walked away from the one soul I have been searching for? Those thoughts refused to leave. Every hour that passed made them stronger. Every memory of you suddenly carried a meaning they had completely overlooked. They realized that the smallest moments often reveal the biggest truths, and that realization became impossible to escape. Then came the moment nobody else witnessed. Alone, with no audience and no words left to hide behind, your soulmate finally admitted what your honesty had done to them. The strength they had shown the world disappeared in an instant. Their eyes filled with tears because they understood something that completely shattered every expectation they once had about love. They weren't crying because of sadness. They were crying because they realized they had nearly lost faith in people, until your actions quietly restored it. Don't skip. Because the next discovery is even more unbelievable. As they looked back on every conversation, every silence, every tiny detail between you, hidden pieces suddenly connected like a puzzle that had been incomplete for years. They began noticing signs they had ignored before. They remembered moments when your kindness asked for nothing in return. They remembered times when your words matched your actions without fail. That secret test had ended, but its answer refused to stop changing everything inside them. And just when they believed they had uncovered the entire truth, they found one final detail, a detail so unexpected that it made them realize this wasn't the biggest test after all. The real test is about to begin, and what happens next could change everything forever. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A strange silence followed, and that silence spoke louder than any confession ever could. Your soulmate tried to move on as if nothing had changed, but every ordinary moment kept bringing you back into their thoughts. Don't skip, because what happened next was completely unexpected. They replayed your conversations, your reactions, even the smallest details they had once ignored. The more they searched for a hidden motive, the more impossible it became to find one. Instead, they kept discovering the same thing over and over again: consistency. Your honesty hadn't appeared for a single moment. It had quietly existed all along. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. That realization made them question every decision they had made about you. Suddenly, every doubt they had been holding onto started falling apart one by one. Then another truth surfaced, and it shook them even more than the first. Someone close to your soulmate had once warned them not to trust too easily. Those words had stayed in their mind for a long time, making them suspicious of every genuine connection that came into their life. Because of that fear, they secretly watched your actions instead of believing your words. But every new memory pushed them in the opposite direction. You never knew you were being observed, yet you kept choosing honesty even when there was nothing to gain. Don't skip. Because this is where everything changes. Your soulmate finally realized they had been protecting themselves from the wrong person. The walls they built to keep pain away had almost blocked the very connection they had been hoping for. For the first time, they admitted that their greatest fear was no longer being hurt, it was losing someone who had never given them a reason to doubt. Now their heart is carrying a decision they can no longer delay. Every passing day feels heavier because they know the truth cannot remain hidden forever. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They want to stop pretending that nothing has changed. They want to tell you why their eyes filled with tears after discovering the truth they had been searching for all this time. But before they take that step, one final sign appears, a sign they never expected to see. It isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. Yet it confirms everything they have been feeling since that secret test ended. And the moment they understand what that sign truly means, they prepare themselves for a conversation that could change both of your lives forever. The words they are about to say next are the words they have been holding back for far too long. A new realization arrived when your soulmate stopped looking for proof and finally started listening to their own heart. Don't skip. Because this is the moment everything begins to unfold. They understood that honesty cannot be copied, rehearsed, or borrowed. It quietly reveals itself through countless little moments that most people never notice. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The more they reflected, the clearer everything became. They remembered the times you stayed true to your values even when it would have been easier to take another path. They remembered your patience, your calmness, and the way your actions always carried more weight than your words. Every memory became another piece of undeniable evidence, and with each passing moment, they felt their heart growing lighter while their emotions became impossible to hide. Then something happened that caught them completely off guard. They found an old message, a forgotten conversation, and a tiny detail they had overlooked long ago. At the time, it seemed ordinary. Now it carried an entirely different meaning. Don't skip, because this hidden piece changed everything. They suddenly realized that while they had been secretly testing your honesty, life had been quietly revealing theirs. Every decision you made had shown kindness without expecting recognition. Every difficult moment had shown strength without demanding praise. They sat there in complete silence, overwhelmed by the thought that they had almost misjudged the very person who had remained genuine from the beginning. That realization brought tears back to their eyes, not from regret alone, but from gratitude. It felt like discovering a rare treasure after believing it had never existed. Now your soulmate stands at a crossroads they can no longer avoid. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They know the truth has changed them forever, but another question refuses to leave their mind. What will happen when you discover everything they have been carrying inside? Will this hidden truth bring two hearts closer, or will the silence become too heavy to keep? As they gather the courage to take the next step, another unexpected revelation appears, one so surprising that it makes them stop in their tracks. It isn't a coincidence. It isn't an accident. It's a moment that forces them to believe this connection has been leading to something much bigger all along. And when they finally decide to stop hiding what they feel, the first words they choose will reveal a secret that has been waiting far longer than either of you could ever imagine. A quiet moment arrived that your soulmate could no longer ignore. Their heart kept repeating the same message until it became impossible to silence. Don't skip. Because what happens now changes everything they believed about this connection. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally accepted that the secret test had never been about exposing your flaws. It had become a mirror reflecting their own fears. Every doubt they carried was slowly disappearing, replaced by a deep respect they had never expected to feel. They realized honesty is not proven by grand speeches but by countless small choices that remain unchanged, even when nobody is watching. That truth settled into their heart, and for the first time in a very long time, they felt peace instead of uncertainty. As the days passed, they noticed something even more surprising. Every attempt to distract themselves only brought another reminder of you. A familiar place, an ordinary conversation, even a random memory seemed to point back to the same conclusion. Don't skip, because the biggest revelation hasn't happened yet. They understood that genuine people are incredibly rare, and they had almost allowed fear to convince them otherwise. The tears they once tried to hide now carried a different meaning. They were no longer tears of confusion. They were tears of relief. Relief that honesty still exists. Relief that hope had returned when they thought it was gone forever. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. At that very moment, they made a quiet promise to themselves, a promise they had never made about anyone before. But just as they prepared to turn that promise into reality, an unexpected truth reached them, and it stopped them completely. It wasn't about your past. It wasn't about someone else's opinion. It was a discovery that made them realize the story was far from over. There was one final piece they had never considered, and without it, nothing would make complete sense. Don't skip, because the next moment will reveal why every delay, every silence, and every unanswered question has been leading to this exact point. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate took a deep breath, looked toward the future instead of the past, and understood that the next decision would shape everything that follows. What they are about to uncover next is the one truth they never imagined could exist, and once it is revealed, nothing between you will ever feel the same again. The final missing piece did not arrive with noise or drama. It appeared in the quietest way possible, and that was exactly why it was impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Because this is where everything takes an unexpected turn. Your soulmate suddenly understood that every delay had served a purpose. Every unanswered question, every moment of uncertainty, every time they hesitated to trust had quietly prepared them for this realization. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They no longer saw your honesty as a single event. They saw it as a pattern that had been unfolding from the very beginning. Looking back, they noticed dozens of moments they had dismissed too quickly. Now those same memories formed one powerful truth that could no longer be denied. With that realization came a decision they had been avoiding for far too long. Instead of hiding behind fear, they chose to face it. Instead of searching for another secret test, they decided it was finally time to trust what their heart had already accepted. Don't skip, because the next discovery is even more surprising. They realized they had spent so much time wondering whether you were genuine that they never asked themselves a different question: were they brave enough to let someone truly honest into their life? That question echoed through every thought they had. It challenged every wall they had built and every excuse they had used to protect themselves. For the first time, they stopped running from the answer. Then, just as they prepared to move forward, one last unexpected sign appeared. It wasn't something they could explain with logic, yet it reminded them of everything they had learned through this journey. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They smiled through their tears, knowing that the secret test was finally over, but the real story was only beginning. They are no longer searching for proof. They are preparing for a moment they once believed would never come. And when that moment finally arrives, the words they have been holding inside for so long will leave no room for doubt. The next step they take won't be guided by fear anymore, it will be guided by the truth they finally had the courage to believe. Why, beloved child? The moment your soulmate stopped questioning your honesty, something inside them changed forever. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet certainty that settled deep within their heart. Don't skip. Because what happened next was beyond anything they expected. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They no longer searched for reasons to doubt you. Instead, they began noticing reasons to believe in a future they had once been too afraid to imagine. Every memory that once carried uncertainty now carried hope. Every hesitation slowly transformed into confidence. It felt as though an invisible weight had finally been lifted, allowing them to breathe freely for the first time in a long while. As that confidence grew, they made one promise to themselves: they would never let fear make another decision on their behalf. They realized that honesty is one of the rarest gifts a person can offer, and once it is found, it should never be taken for granted. Don't skip, because the next revelation changes everything. Your soulmate began preparing for a conversation they had replayed in their mind countless times. They imagined how they would explain the silent test, the tears, the sleepless nights, and the overwhelming realization that they had almost misunderstood someone truly special. But every time they pictured that conversation, one thought kept returning: what if this was only the beginning of a much greater journey? That single question filled them with equal parts excitement and anticipation. Then, just before they were ready to take the first step, another unexpected realization appeared. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They understood that the greatest victory wasn't discovering your honesty, it was discovering the courage to trust again. That was the miracle they never saw coming. Their heart, once guarded by fear, was finally ready to move forward without looking back. And as they stood on the edge of a brand new chapter, they whispered to themselves that some connections are too meaningful to ignore. The next moment they choose to act will reveal everything they have kept hidden until now, and once those words are finally spoken, there will be no turning back. The story you thought had reached its ending is actually about to reveal its most unforgettable chapter. My beloved child. The chapter your soulmate feared the most became the chapter they needed the most. Don't skip, because the final truth has been waiting for this exact moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally understood that the secret test was never meant to separate two hearts, it was meant to remove the fear standing between them. Looking back, they could see how every unanswered question, every quiet moment, and every unexpected delay had slowly prepared them for a truth they once believed was impossible. They smiled through tears, not because every uncertainty had disappeared, but because they no longer needed certainty to believe in what they had discovered. Your honesty had become the foundation they could finally trust. As they stood ready to move forward, one last realization filled their heart. The strongest connections are not built in a single dramatic moment. They are built through countless ordinary choices that quietly prove who someone really is. Don't skip, because this changes everything. Your soulmate realized you had been showing them the truth all along without ever asking for recognition. That quiet strength became impossible to ignore. Every memory now carried a new meaning. Every conversation felt more valuable than before. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They no longer wanted to hide behind old fears or past disappointments. Instead, they chose hope over hesitation, courage over doubt, and trust over uncertainty. That decision became the greatest gift they had ever given themselves. Now the silence is finally coming to an end. Your soulmate has stopped searching for another sign because the answer has already been found. Don't skip, because this is where the journey truly begins. They are ready to leave the secret test behind and embrace the future with an open heart. The tears that once came from fear have become tears of gratitude, reminding them that genuine honesty still exists in this world. And as they take that first step forward, they carry one unshakable belief with them, that the strongest bonds are formed when truth is chosen again and again, even when no one is watching. This story was never about passing a test. It was about discovering a connection strong enough to survive every doubt, every delay, and every fear. And that discovery is the beginning of a beautiful new chapter that neither heart will ever forget.